Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a harder battle. Wise men speak because they have something to say. Fools because they have to say something. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Only the dead have seen the end of war. The price good men pay for indifference to public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. The heaviest penalty for declining to rule is to be ruled by someone inferior to yourself. Love is a serious mental disease. Never discourage anyone who continually makes progress, no matter how slow. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. At the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet. Courage is knowing what not to fear. Ignorance, the root and stem of all evil. Wise men speak because they have something to say. Fools because they have to say something. He who commits injustice is ever made more wretched than he who suffers it. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. We can easily judge the character of others by how they treat those who can do nothing for them or to them. Music is moral law. It gives soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and charm and gaiety to life and to everything. Love is the joy of the good, the wonder of the wise, the amazement of the gods. The heaviest penalty for declining to rule is to be ruled by someone inferior to yourself. Ideas are the source of all things. Philosophy is the highest music. I am the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. A hero is born among 100. A wise man is found among 1,000. But an accomplished one might not be found even among 100,000 men. The measure of a man is what he does with power. Knowledge that is acquired under compulsion obtains no hold on the mind. The price good men pay for indifference to public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. The excessive increase of anything causes a reaction in the opposite direction. Justice in the life and conduct of the state is possible only as first it resides in the hearts and souls of the citizens. Opinion is the medium between knowledge and ignorance. We do not learn, and what we call learning is only a process of recollection. Better a little which is well done than a great deal imperfectly. The just man is not the product of a day, but of a long series of events. The soul takes nothing with her to the next world but her education and her culture. At the beginning of the journey to the next world, one's education and culture can either provide the greatest assistance or else act as the greatest burden to the person who has just died. Necessity, who is the mother of invention. I am a lover of truth, a worshipper of freedom, a celebrant at the altar of language and purity and tolerance. One of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. Good actions give strength to ourselves and inspire good actions in others. Wealth and poverty, the one is the parent of luxury and indolence, and the other of meanness and viciousness, and both of discontent. Courage is a kind of salvation. To be afraid of death is only another form of thinking that one is wise when one is not. It is to think that one knows what one does not know. Let parents bequeath to their children not riches, but the spirit of reverence. The soul of man is immortal and imperishable. Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. Never forgive a friend who betrayed you once. He will betray you again. The most important part of education is proper training in the nursery. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. No man should bring children into the world who is unwilling to persevere to the end in their nature and education. We are twice armed if we fight with faith. The soul of the newly born baby is marked for life by the pattern of the stars at the moment it comes into the world, unconsciously remembering it. The object of education is to teach us to love what is beautiful. The measure of a man is what he does with power. The beginning is the most important part of the work. He who commits injustice is ever made more wretched than he who suffers it. Excess of liberty, whether it lies in state or individuals, seems only to pass into excess of slavery. Education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. All learning has an emotional base. Ignorance, the root and stem of all evil. The penalty that good men pay for not being interested in politics is to be governed by men worse than themselves. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Knowledge, which is acquired under compulsion, obtains no hold on the mind.